This haunting pull to a destiny in the West continued in this young prophet's life. In a hunting accident with a fellow young hunter, his legs were nearly blown off by a shotgun. Laying in a pool of his own blood in a hospital bed, he seemed to be again in the West. A huge cross appeared, and then a sequence developed that ended up producing Christ. While telling his own life story, he speaks of how emotionally low he was at the loss of his baby Sharon Rose and the death of his wife Hope. Exhausted from work, he came home, fell asleep. There was a prairie schooner, an old covered wagon with a wheel broken, symbolizing his own broken family. There also was another surprise, one of the prettiest blonde-headed, blue-eyed young ladies he has ever seen, and as he walked up to her, she called him Dad. What is this? Near the end of 1962, again, the prairie schooner symbolism was used. With his family all loaded and ready to go, he snapped the reins for the lead horse to head west, and then the schooner became the family station wagon. It was time to forsake all he had called home in Jeffersonville, Indiana, and move west. Dream is becoming reality. Brother Branham spoke about all this in the sermon, Is This the Sign of the End, Sirs? December 30th, 1962. He shared with his congregations something great was about to happen. 6 different people at Branham Tabernacle had all shared their dream to Brother Branham. They so linked together, he felt he dare not even tell each of them what it meant. There was 6 dreams, and now the 7th is a vision to William Branham himself. First, a formation of little bitty birds, only an inch or so long. They looked so battle-scarred, he called them little veterans. And then bigger birds, doves. And then coming from eternity in the twinkling of an eye, a group of angels came to meet him. A further, an ongoing, an advance in the ministry is at hand.
All of you seen it around the world. You don't go to sleep standing on a platform talking to people. You hear me go into visions and come back when I'm riding in a car with you anywhere else and tell you things that's going to happen. It never fails. Never has. Has anybody ever seen it fail? No. It can't fail. It won't fail as long as it's God. Notice, right on the platform, thousands before, tens of thousands of people. Even in other languages that I can't even speak, still it don't fail. See? God. Now, in this vision, or as I was speaking, I looked and I saw a strange thing. Now, it seemed like that my little son Joseph was by my side. I was talking to him. Now, if you'll watch the vision real close, you'll see why Joseph was standing there. And I looked, and there was a big bush. And on this bush, in a constellation of birds, little bitty birds, about a half-inch long and a half-inch high. They were little veterans. Their little feathers was beat down. And there was about 2 or 3 on the top limb, 6 or 8 on the next limb, and 15 or 20 on the next limb, coming down in the shape of a pyramid. And those little fellows, little messengers, and they were pretty well worn out. And they were watching eastward, and I was at Tucson, Arizona, in the vision. For it made it so purpose that He didn't want me to fail to see where it was at. I was picking a sand burr off of me from the desert. And I said, now, I know this is a vision, and I know that I'm at Tucson. And I know that them little birds there represent something. And they were watching eastward. And all of a sudden, they taken an ocean to fly, and away they went eastward. And as soon as they left, a constellation of larger birds came. They looked like doves, sharp-pointed wings, kind of a gray color, a little lighter color than what these first little messengers was. And they were coming eastward swiftly. And no sooner than they got out of my sight, I turned again to look westward, and there it happened. There was a blast actually shook the whole earth. Now, don't miss this. And you on tape, be sure you get this right. First, a blast. And I thought it sounded like a sound barrier, what you call it when planes cross the sound and the sound comes back to the earth. Just shook like roared everything. Then it could have been a great clap of thunder, lightning. I didn't see the lightning. I just heard that great blast that went forth that sounded like it was south from me, towards Mexico. But it shook the earth. And when it did, I was still looking westward and way off into eternity. I saw a constellation of something coming. It looked like that it might have been little dots. There could have been no less than 5 and not more than 7. But they were in the shape of a pyramid. Like these messengers coming. And when it did, the power of Almighty God lifted me up to meet Him. And I can see it. It's never left me. 8 days is gone. And I can't forget it yet. I never had anything to bother me like that has. My family will tell you. I could see those angels, those shaped-back wings, traveling faster than sound could travel. They come from eternity in a split like the twinkling of an eye. Not enough to bat your eye, just a twinkle. They were there. I didn't have time to count. I didn't have time no more than just look. Mighty ones, great, powerful angels, snow white, wings set in heads, and they were... And when it did, I was caught up into this pyramid of constellations.